Okay, on the top road, and just wait for the car now. Just see how long it takes. Right, now then, I've said it before, that from the top road it's the best view of the mental, but not at the moment, as you can see. You can only see half of it. There's the grass growing, there's sheep on the thing here now. They're keeping the grass down. It's the only half of it, so the mental is disappearing, literally. I'm always on. Here's the car. Slowing down. That took at least 30 seconds. Mental camera record. Right. Update time. Exactly what is going to be knocked down. It's easy to say what it's going to keep. Now the nurse's home is going. There, big white building. We've got the ward that recently, well, I say recently, a few years back, had a fire. The silo behind them trees, that's going. We've got the silos, boiler house. There's the boiler house just behind the silos, that's going. Just move a bit further along, we've got the isolation hospital. Going. Now the isolation hospital was patients who've got contagious diseases. We can't pass it on to other patients. We're a hospital within the hospital. It's the isolation hospital. That's going. You see a bit of it there. The roof caved in there, and behind that is the morgue. That's going. And behind the morgue, and the trees there, is the chapel. But the chapel's staying. They're doing up the chapel. Now they're roughly behind the nurse's home, roughly there, Bringolai. Now Bringolai was a secure ward. It was for patients that are likely to harm themselves and or other patients. So they were put in Bringolai, which was a secure ward. That's been knocked down years ago. So you've got the female 7A, 7B and 8 wards, which is the other side of the mental, towards the Cinder track, which is haunted, and that will mention that. And then you've got the Allard ward. Now then, with the Allard ward, it's next to female 7A, 7B, and 8 wards. And if public funding is available, then they're going to, they're going to do up the Allard ward. What that means, I don't know. But in other words, it probably means it's just going to get knocked down. And just behind them trees, what I've shown you before, to the side of the silos was the chimney, 100-foot chimney, and behind that was the boiler house. And that was you could be, well, 5-10 mile radius on these mountains, these hills.
And you'd still see it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, if you look towards the mental, the first thing you'd see is the chimney. And they burned 3,000 tonnes of coal a year, and they had a standing stock of 300 tonnes. And just up there is Taliban, Gwynfryn wards. You can just make out a bit of Taliban. They were also part of the mental, 2 separate wards. And the orchard is here, supposed to be there. And as kids, what we used to do, we'd climb over the wall, grab our apples, and just, so as you look at it, just to the left of the entrance to Gwynfryn and Taliban, is a part of the heating system, heating pipe. Now there was a network of heating pipes coming from the boiler. That's how they used to heat the mental. And there was an exposed section. So what we used to do is get our apples, fill our jumpers up as you do as your kids, over the wall, up to the pipe. We used to cut them in half, and put them on the pipe, and cook the apples. From what I can remember, they didn't taste very nice. That's what we used to do. And I'll show you a bit later the Cinder track, which is haunted. Did I not mention that? I might not mention that. And the reason why it's got its name, because of the cinders. That's what we used to do from the waste cinders from the boiler house. We used to tip them along the Cinder track, which I'll show you a bit later. And that's how it's got its name, the Cinder track. So, in a nutshell, all that's staying is the U front buildings, the U section, and the chapel, which is at the back there in the trees. So that's all that's been saved. They also have 2 airing courts. So the airing courts, one was there, on both sides of the main building, one there, one on the other side. And what the airing courts were was, were obviously beneficial for patients to get exercise and fresh air, to save them wandering all willy-nilly around the grounds. they made 2 airing courts, and you could access the airing courts. They were enclosed off, the 2 of them, but you could access them from the main building, so they could have their exercise and fresh air without them getting lost in the grounds. So that's the 2 airing courts. Right, so that's it. So I'll drop down to the what was the main gate, which is all sealed off now. We've got a good look at the isolation hospital there. Well, that's a hospital within a hospital. And as I say, behind that is the morgue, and behind that's the chapel. So the chapel's being kept, and the front used section of the buildings are being kept. So drop down to the front gates and have a look what's going on down there. And later, Cinder track, which is haunted, just in case I don't mention it. This was the main way in. These gates were never shut like this, and were always open. And you see it today. In its heyday, the gardeners, I tell you, either side of here or anywhere in the ground, there wasn't a leaf out of place, there wasn't a weed. It was immaculate, and I mean immaculate. It's Chelsea the Flower Show material. It was absolutely pristine, is the word I would probably use. You see it today, all bloody weeds and everything. So anyway, that's the front door, the main way in, where I witnessed a patient actually dying. I'd come up with his mother for a taxi. We do taxis from the garage, from the Lynn garage. We pulled up to the main gate when we went in for the fair. No one around, and I can see it to this day. Came out with pyjamas, dressing gown, he had a bald head, slippers, and he stood on the step and he looked down at me, and I was looking at him. I was about 7, something like that, and he attempted to go down the steps, and he fell, he put his hands out and just dropped like a stone, bang, and he was motionless, and I was the only one that witnessed it. And then 1 or 2 doctors and whatever, and he was surrounded by people, and then we were told the following day that as soon as he hit them steps that he was dead, and I'll never forget that, and I was the only person that witnessed it.
And where was that? On the front steps of the building?
Front, yeah.
Yeah.
Front door, yeah. So right, we'll head down to the Cinder track, which is it haunted, Pete?
Yeah, it's haunted.
Yeah, it's official, it's haunted. So,
have you ever caught anything down there on camera?
no.
Never.
Oh, saying that, I have done, yeah. I've been doing 1 or 2, like, not an actual person, but like a black sort of black figure, something like that. So I have actually, yeah. And some orbs. That's it. I tell you what, it's that long ago. It was Pennant Farm. You can see the old plaque there. Pennant Farm and buildings obviously been done up now, and there's buildings and things at the back there. But this was the mental farm. That's what it was called, the mental farm. Grow their own produce, everything, fruit, veg. It was in the mental. It was like all self-contained. Called it like a little village. They had their own plumbers, tailors, butchers, cookers, cookeries, and all sorts. They're all, their own little jobs. So one of the jobs was they had a team of patients that chipped the coal to the certain size so it would fit in the boiler, and that was their job. So anyway, this is Pennant Farm, or what was the mental farm.
They've done a good job of this, haven't they,
Yeah,
to be fair?
good stonework, isn't it?
Yeah. Proper stonemason work.
Yeah. Costs quite a bit too for this, these stones, don't they? So many of the meters or something.
The trouble is they have to use them, they can't use the cheap imitation.
Yeah. Okay, well this is an entrance they've made, and it is going to be an entrance into the main complex. So yeah, here is the 7A7B light wall and olive wall. Right, so the front buildings there. See, there is female 7A, 7B, 8 wards. Just to its right, just hidden in the trees there, is the Alid ward. And as I said earlier, if public funds are made available and now the water is going to be restored, so you tell me what that means. I don't know, probably just means it's going to get demolished. Right, head to the Cinder track now. Sorry, the haunted Cinder track.
Yeah, they're definitely smooth, these.
Yeah. Like these steady cams, you've seen them in sports.
Yeah.
They're like that. The camera's like that, it doesn't move. Is he going to turn?
Bloody hell, it's a while since last time I've been up here. I don't think I've seen you for 16 months, is it?
No, it's got to be in it.
Not last Christmas, Christmas before, weren't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah. Oh, there you go. Okay then, so this is the Cinder track. As explained earlier, that's what we used to chuck the waste cinders on. We used to come down here, kids, to the pavilion, and it used to be black, and it was about 3 or 4 inches deep of cinders, and it used to make a hell of a noise. You came down on your bike or walking, you just hear. That's what we used to do with the waste. We also used to chuck them over the hedge as well. So this is the Cinder track, the haunted Cinder track. Yeah, it used to be deep, it used to be like got up to there, cinders. Security fencing was put up here years and years ago. That was all open. Another bit I forgot to mention was just back there was the, still is, the canteen, and that's going as well, and May Lake Road just more or less behind that. As I say, to put in a nutshell, just the front U buildings and the chapel, that's all that's staying. But yeah, this is where we used to come, down here. We used to use the far entrance, to head towards the chimney, the boiler house, around the corner of the canteen, just come down here, fly around that corner on our bikes, down the bottom of the hill, turn left, and you got the pavilion, what was the cricket and the rugby pavilion. Just come straight through the mental, we either got on our bikes or walking, there'd be doctors and nurses about, and no one, being that we were kids, no one would come and say, hey, what are you doing and all that. They just ignored us. No one confronted us like, that's the good old days. So yeah, nice to see my security fence back. Bit battered and dented.
Yeah. How many times have been pulled down?
Yeah. As soon as I put it that, down it comes. Right, we'll head down to the pavilion.
Yeah, it's dangerous in there now, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if some people like yourself, if they come to the council and said, obviously you know the grounds better than us, we're just the workers coming on, but you've got the experience, you know what's what. Do you think you could take a couple of them round there?
Oh yeah.
And with it being safely?
Because
you know where all the potholes are, don't you? All the bad roofs.
And the sergeant, and he said, well, just go for a bit of a walk and a chat. And he was saying, what's that? What was that? And I was saying, oh, that's the canteen. Oh, and I said, I'll show you where the chimney was. Oh, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
And they had a good lesson for me in about 5 minutes. Just wandering.
So basically, it's dangerous in the wrong hand. It's a bit like a gun, isn't it? But if you know what you're doing on there, you can go on there, but you've got to know what's what, or you could kill yourself. Yeah. But you'd definitely be all right on there, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I've forgotten the amount of times I've been in that place. Right, drop down to the pavilion, or what's left of it. Yeah, that's true, that.
It is, it's like a loaded gun, isn't it?
This is all timber. Now then, if you want to see what it looked like, I have actually got footage of that when it was actually all in one piece before the fire. But on the left was the cricket ground, and on the right was the rugby pitch. We still have the posts and everything there. Okay, carry on. Heading towards the Denbigh Dam. All the history lesson on this one, isn't it?
Yeah, back again, only me exploding the peak. Well, this is Graham from Denbigh Vids. He does all the updates on the North Wales Hospital. He really is a cyclopedia in it. He knows an awful lot. He's the local Wikipedia. He's got all the information. If you're interested in the documenting side of it, he doesn't do any exploring, but he has got a lot of knowledge on the North Wales Hospital and Denbigh Asylum. And there he is, guys. Really nice chap he is, really down to earth. Come check him out, Denbigh vids. It's lovely and peaceful. Yeah, it's barbecue weather today. Okay,